A Birmingham man has been sentenced to federal prison for being a felon in possession of a firearm. U.S. District Judge Madeline H. Haikala sentenced 27-year-old Lionel Caffey to 5 years after Caffey pleaded guilty to the charge in December 2020, according to joint announcement Tuesday by Northern District of Alabama U.S. Attorney Prim Escalona and U S Marshal Marty Keely. Caffey was taken into custody April 28, 2020, by the U S Marshals Gulf Coast Regional Fugitive Task Force. He had been sought in connection with gunfire that happened March 24, 2020, in Birmingham's Collegeville community. The shooting happened shortly after 11:30 a.m. that day in the 3000 block of 32nd Avenue North in Collegeville. Witnesses said a man pulled up in a silver car and started shooting at another man. That man returned fire. In between the two shooters were multiple children playing. No one was injured. In all, witnesses said, about 10 shots were fired. Police officials on the scene said 4 cars were damaged by the gunfire. The man who fired back at the initial shooter returned to the scene and was interviewed by police. The original shooter, Caffey, fled the scene with a female behind the wheel. Marshals found him in April 2020 at the Ramada Inn on Messer Airport Highway. They confirmed Caffey's girlfriend rented a room and that Caffey was there and armed with a handgun. Lawmen set up surveillance on the room and a short time later the female exited. She was stopped and confirmed that Caffey was in the room, Keely said. Caffey then exited the room and was met by the federal task force members. He immediately began to resist, Keely said. One of the officers saw and felt a handgun in Caffey's waistband. The gun fell to the ground during the struggle. Caffey broke free from the officers and kicked in the door of another third-floor hotel room. He then attempted to jump out of a closed window at the back of that room, but the window did not break. At that point, officers were able to gain control of him. Even after being cuffed, Caffey continued to reach for his waistband. The pistol was found on the floor in the room where he was handcuffed. Caffey was prohibited from having a gun after he pleaded guilty in 2011 to second-degree assault and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. In 2015, he pleaded guilty to robbery and was sentenced to 20 years with 3 to serve. He still faces state charges of attempted murder in connection with the Collegeville shooting. Convicted felons who possess firearms are among those who are most likely to commit a violent crime, Escalona said. Prosecuting the drivers of violence in our communities is a top priority of my office.